Poker is the game in the casino that you can actually beat, and it's because you're playing other players, not against the house. I'm going to give you a strategy for beating the game, but no matter how good of a strategy I give you, poker still includes variance. Let's talk about what you can do with $200 today to give yourself the best chance to beat this game. Step number one is to find the smallest game you can play. So we're talking $1, $2 blinds. This is listed as 1-2 live on any app, or if you're showing up to the poker room and asking what they have, they'll have a screen that'll show you that they have 1-2. Some rooms now only run 1-3, so you may have to play 1-3, but your goal is to find a 1-2 game. Step number two is to buy in for $100 to this game. You brought $200 for this strategy, and the reason is, if things don't go well initially, you have more money that you can add on with, but you're not risking all of the $200 right when you sit down. This gives you a chance to have things go poorly and still have money to continue playing. Step number three is to get crazy patient. Most people, when they think of poker, think of what's shown in the movies, where you're back and forth and reading and live, and I can tell what this guy's doing, therefore I'm going to make this move. Most of the time at the poker table is you just folding and folding and folding and folding if you want to be a winning player. The reason is, if you are more patient than your opponents, you are going to have better hands on average than they do, which means that when you get your money in, you are more likely to pull the chips back as the winner because your hands are stronger in general than the hands that they're playing. You're going to want to wait for big premium pocket pairs like pocket tens or better, and you're going to look for big Broadway cards, stuff like ace jack suited or better, and things like ace queen offsuit or better. Here's a chart of the hands that you're going to want to play. So pause this video really quick, take out your phone and get a photo of this. You're going to be able to reference this later in the session if you're thinking, which hands do I play again? You can reference it and think, okay, those are the ones I want to play. I'm folding everything else. Step number four is, what do we do once we actually get the cards? Let's say, for example, you're playing 1-2 live, you have $100 in your stack, and you get pocket kings. Let's also assume that two players have just called the big blind in front of you. You'll see this a lot at 1-2. There's a small blind of $1, then a big blind of $2, then two people who have called and decided to put $2 additional into the pot. I'm going to advise you to raise on the larger side of what your table is doing. So if your table is raising somewhere between, say, $6 and $10 as the first raise when they come into a hand, I'm going to have you instead raising $12 to $15. The reason is people are either going to overpay to get involved with you, which is a common mistake at 1-2 low stakes, or they're going to fold and give away their chips. Now, if you have multiple people in front of you that start calling, you can go even larger than that. Let's say that you get one caller, and now we're going to go see a flop. The flop is the first three cards that come down initially, your first three community cards in the hand. You don't have to go for a huge bet here. You can bet something like $25, get your opponent to call. Now there's $100 in the pot, and you only have $55 behind, meaning remaining in your stack. Now when the turn comes down, it will be very easy for you to put your remaining $55 into the middle, and you should be sitting as a favorite when that bet goes into the pot. That means more than likely you are going to be returning chips to your stack and coming out ahead. To be clear, not every pot is going to be a great spot. So let's say you wait for a really long time, you get pocket tens and you raise to $20. You get one caller and you go to a flop, which comes down queen, king, ace. This is a really bad flop for you because there are three cards that an opponent can have paired that is going to be higher than your pocket tens. In a situation like this, I'm probably going to check, and I'm going to be willing to fold if my opponent is interested in the pot and continues betting. The goal of this strategy is really just to make top pairs or over pairs. So over pairs are when you hold something in your hand, like a pocket pair, that is higher than the board. It's higher than all the cards that are out there that someone could have paired with. A top pair is when you are paired with the highest card on the board. The reason we're playing a lot of ace-X combinations, ace-king, ace-queen, ace-jack, is that when we make top pair, like in this situation with a king, we have the best high card to go with it. So if our opponent also has a king, but they have king-queen, we're winning by the time we get to showdown because our high card is higher than their high card. Step number 5, if at any point you have over $200 in your stack, it's time to cash out your chips, and you can come back if you want to keep playing, but wait whatever the necessary time period is. Maybe it's an hour, so maybe you go take dinner and come back. But get yourself back in for $100 so that you are risking only $100 at a time and not risking $200 at a time. I'm not going to explain all the strategy that goes into playing with a deep stack, but I will tell you that the game becomes more complicated as you have more chips to play with. Two things to leave you with here. Number one, if at any point you get down to $80 or less in your stack, go ahead and reload your stack to $100. We're doing this because we're going to be very patient. We're going to be waiting for these hands. And if you get to the hand and you don't have much money left in your stack, then when you put all the chips in the middle, you're not going to get enough of a return for the amount that you're having to be patient. So constantly keep that stack up to $100. If it gets down below 80, put it back up to 100. Item number two is I didn't tell you what to do if somebody raises in front of you. If somebody opens the betting in front of you, let's say it goes a call of $2 and then a raise to $10, you can just move all in. If you get called, great, you have a good hand and you have a good chance of winning. If you don't get called, you're going to take down, $12 to $15 on average every time you go all in, which is just going to buy you time till you get to your next hand. Eventually, you're going to get called, and then you just have to be the best hand by the end. So if somebody is raising in front of you, you can move all in. If somebody does not raise in front of you, make a large raise that sets you up to get all your chips all in, either on the flop or by the turn at the absolute latest. Well, comment below with any questions that you have or anything that I can answer for you that you feel like I left out of this video. I want you to succeed and I want to help you. I hope your first session goes well. Get your money in good. Be patient. You got this. Let me know after your first session how it goes. I'll be looking forward to hearing some comments that you doubled your bankroll or tripled your bankroll and that you're on fire and ready to go. Enjoy poker. It's a great game. Glad you're here to play it, and I will talk to you in the next video.
Tyson, do that, I survived, doing 80 to the house, then I hit it to the sky, changed haters on a tirade, talking to the crib in the face.